Hello everybody, welcome to Croatian Family Vlog channel. So today we have a video about the city of Split. So we'll see some really interesting things. The city of Split is the second largest city in Croatia. So we have our capital Zagreb. It has around 1 million people, and the city of Split has around 160,000. It is located in the region called Dalmatia in the southern part of Croatia. So in this video you will see first about our tour, the city tour, and after that we will go to one shopping mall and some details about it. So here we are driving towards the city of Split, and there is on the road a really beautiful fortress of cliffs, which you can see here on the right side. So that was a fortification which was protecting the city of Split in the history. So a lot of times there were sieges there when they managed to defeat the enemy. Here is the football stadium of the football club Hajduk. So it's like a trademark of the city of Split. So some really famous games were played here in this stadium. It has a capacity of 36,000, and mostly the people from the area go to Split when there is a football game. Here is the old football pitch which belonged to Hajduk Split. It's called Stari Plac, and that is the closest parking lot to the old town. So here we are in front of the theater, and on the entrance to the oldest part of the city you can see these walls on the left side, which look really high and really steep. So imagine if you need to lay a siege on the city and climb up here. So you have to throw the anchor with the rope to climb up there, and they are shooting arrows at you. So it was really hard to conquer the city. This was made mostly in the 16th century when the city was mostly raided by the Ottoman Empire forces, and then later when there was a Marshal Marmon responsible for this area, he ordered to destroy most of these walls because there was no more clear and present danger. So there was no need for those. Briefly, you saw this one of the most famous things here in this street. It is called Piria, or the funnel. So this is the place where usually the kids are meeting when you, in each city you have a place where when you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, you call them to meet you at that place. And this street a long time ago was made for cars, but now it's a main street in Split, and it has the name of Marshal Marmon. So it's Marshal Marmon Street. The guy who was in the time when Napoleon attacked this area, he was appointed as a governor of the region. Here is a beautiful square which is called Procurative, and a long time ago here was a really beautiful fountain which was between First and Second World War. Here we are on the promenade. The promenade is really something special to see. So there is this palm trees and lot of cafe bars. So mostly all the tourists are spending much time here in this area. You can watch the people passing by, and there are a lot of souvenir shops, for instance like this one here. So now my kid is checking the bracelets. So in each of the tourist cities you can see a lot of stands like this one where you can shop these souvenirs, so you can later remember that you were in Split. Half of this is mostly magnets, so you can put them on the fridge, and sometimes they sell the other things too, like bracelets, necklaces and things like this. So of course for the kids it's really interesting to see what they have here. Mostly I just pass by as a tourist guide, so I don't look at this. So you can see different things, but I would say that in all the tourist countries mostly the offer is similar. So some of the things are special for Split, but mostly everything is similar. Here is the cellars of the Diocletian Palace. So it is also a trademark of Split. The Diocletian Palace was built here in the 3rd century AD, so it is 1,700 years old. And the interior of it, here still you can see how people lived a long time ago in the Roman Empire. So they were using some really large stones. And when you enter inside from, especially in the summer, outside can be up to 35-36 degrees Celsius, but here is a constant temperature because it is a little bit underground, and usually is around 23-24 degrees Celsius. So here in the video I'm explaining a little bit about the Romans and everything else. There was this guy, his name was Diocletian. He was the emperor of the Roman Empire, and he was in charge at the end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th century, and he made himself like a house for retirement in the city of Split, and it is still standing until today. This area here is the lower section of it, which is in really good shape because they put some sewers in it during the medieval times, which was, so you can imagine, this material was filled to the top, and the poor archaeologists need to dig through it to uncover this area. Of course, later it became like a soil, but the origins are well known in Split. So here in the cellars are a lot of this souvenir shops. Here in the video I had to meet with my group, so we originally came to Split because I had a guided walking tour of the city of Split, but they are a little bit late, so I used the opportunity to show to my family a little bit more about the area. So here I'm explaining that in the Diocletian Palace, this is this main route which going from the square of Peristil towards the south, and this was made as an escape tunnel, so when there is some kind of danger, so the emperor can flee from this fortress and come to the boat and go on the open sea. This lower section is made like a school substructure, so this is supporting the flat on the top, and nobody lived here underground. Mostly people were living on the surface. Here is an old mosaic, also from the 3rd century AD. So you can see here how their floors look like. It is really beautiful, although now it's faded away, but probably the colors were much more beautiful in that long ago. There was a brief view on the bell tower of the St. Dominius Cathedral, and here is we are standing on the main square called Peristil. So this was a place where usually people would meet and talk about different things. Some people were trading here, so if in the Roman Empire, if you want to meet somebody, you have to come here. And this, where we are standing, this like pedestal at the top, was the place where the emperor would show himself. So this is like the entrance to his private chambers. The oldest thing in Split is this Sphinx here, which you can see on the video. So it was brought from Egypt as a war prey, probably is around 3,500 years old. So this is the entrance to the private chambers of the Diocletian, so it was well protected. Without invitation you couldn't enter here, and the first room which you enter is called vestibule, the round room, which is in a really good shape. And sometimes, not sometimes, but practically every day in the summer. This is not summer when we were filming this. So they are singing to the tourist groups. So a lot of these large cruise vessels are stopping in Split, and the tours usually bring you to this room, and there is this klapa. So that is a Croatian way of singing without an instrument, so means a cappella, and they would sing. They usually sing to you the local songs, and of course this is how they earned some money for themselves. So you can leave a donation to them. Briefly, you could see again the bell tower, which is like a secret place here in the corner of vestibule, so you can see it from here. And usually it doesn't look like this. Usually is let's say full of people, so you have to find a spot to talk, or because it can be really noisy. But luckily this day there was nobody, so we could play a little bit. So we are playing hide and seek, but there is nowhere to hide, and so my kid is has to find us. I think she's pretending here that she cannot see us, so because we are quite visible, so she's running around, but you can see here that we are visible. So, of course, you can play like this in the winter, or maybe in early spring or late autumn. But in the summer, it's too much people here, so it's not a good playground. As I said, the place is famous because it's the entrance to the Diocletian Palace. So imagine here that the emperor would go outside with his beautiful wife Priska. There is a legend that she was a beautiful one, and he would address to the people every day during the summer in Split. If you would be here in the main square, you can see a little show which is made for the tourists, where you can see a real emperor. Of course, that's the actor, and he is telling everybody Ave. Then you have to reply Ave to them. Here is me going to meet my group, so you can see my famous hat, which is already quite dirty. And I don't go anywhere without that hat. So probably you're familiar also with the Game of Thrones fame. This is a museum in Split which is located next to the Diocletian Palace, practically just 100 meters away. And whoever watched this show, and there is a lot of people on earth who like this, is like obligatory to go here inside. In this video we are not entering, but I was here a lot of times, and inside you can see a lot of things which are connected to the series, and some pictures of the where they were filming. So you are probably familiar with that they were filming in Croatia. In the city of Split, in the Diocletian Palace cellars, was that famous scene with the dragons. So also they were filming throughout the city, and the most of it was filmed at the fortress of Klis. So we saw this one at the beginning of video, and that is the fortress a little bit north from the city of Split. Here's the kids are eating macarons. Earlier you couldn't find this anywhere, but now it's quite popular in the city of Split, so mostly you can find it in every cafe bar. And that's a tradition to sit on the promenade. So a lot of locals every morning, they first go and drink some coffee, and they are using this let's say half an hour which they can afford to escape from their workplace, and then they can spend this time on we call this riva, that's the promenade. And usually when it's a windy day, still here it's much warmer than in other parts of the city. These palms are quite old, but the oldest one is one little bit left from this image, and those were given, I think, by the Americans around the First World War, so they are already 100 years old. They have some issues later because we brought some special bug which is eating this palm tree, so now you have to protect them somehow with some chemicals, and they managed to save this in Split. Here on the video you can see the weather is changing, so now they are thinking to go to the mall because it will start to rain soon, which won't be visible here, but it's getting colder and colder and really windy, so they are debating here that they would like to go somewhere in some mall. Here is the port of Split, and you saw some small fishing vessels. Now they will meet with me, so I finished my job. So usually my tour in Split is around 1 hour and 15 minutes, something like this. In this day I had some kids, local kids, so connected to the school. They need to, they usually go and travel and visit different cities. So from the north of Croatia they go visit south and vice versa. Here we are in the mall. This is the largest one in Split. It was built maybe 7-8 years ago. It's around 2015, 2014. It has a kids playground, so we usually leave a kid here, and the kids have a nice time because the playground is quite a big one. So inside you have this like a maze and a lot of interesting things to see. When you go to shopping, you can leave the kid here free of charge, and because of this it's really a popular spot. Here we are in one of the restaurants in it. So usually they have something like a fast food, so the food is already prepared, so you just need to point with your finger what would you like to eat. Usually that is like a roasted meat with potatoes or some salad and some soup, and usually this is quite nice meal. So especially if you don't have much time to go on a typical restaurant, then you come here and you can eat here. Also there is a McDonald's here. It's not an advertisement, but that is everywhere in Croatia, so we have a lot of this McDonald's, and kids like to go here also. So we are now heading back, and this was a really interesting day. So I was working, and also we managed to walk around together, and the kids had the opportunity to see the city of Split without so much tourists. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in next one. Bye bye.